Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about Year 9 Achievement Test, May 2024. Section B, question 30. The table shows information about the weekly earnings of 20 people in a business. These are the weekly earnings in X dollars, and this is the frequency that shows how many people that we have with these numbers. Calculate an estimate of the mean weekly earnings. Now, if you have a table like this of classes and you want to find the mean for this data, you're supposed to find the midpoints first. Now, if the classes are only numbers, one number in without these classes, it means they already gave you the midpoints. But now here, you have to find the midpoints first and then use them to find the mean. So first step, we find the midpoint. And how do we find midpoints between these data? Very good. We add them and then divide them by 2. So first thing we have to do, we have to add these and then divide them by 2. So let's do this here. So first, 300. Let's put it here. Yes, 300 plus 450 and then divide it by 2. Okay, like this. Let's make it smaller so it can fit. So first step, as we said, we're going to find the midpoint for each one of them and then write it here. Okay, so 300 plus 450 is 750. Divide 2 is 375. Yes, you can use the calculator to check. You have to focus on the numbers. Make sure that you have the right numbers without any mistakes, okay? So the first one is 375. Let's put it here. Now, this means that the midpoint, let's write it here, 375. Okay. Now, that's the first midpoint. As we said, finding midpoint is easy. You just add the numbers and then divide them by 2. Now, let's find the midpoint for these two. So 450 plus 800, 1250. And then you divide by 2 like this. Same idea, same steps. And then you divide by 2 like this. Okay. You can use a calculator to do this. So 800 plus 450 divide 2, it's 625. Yes, 625. Now we write the midpoint here, 625. Same idea for the last ones, which is 800. Let's write it here, 800 plus 1500, and then divide by 2. Focus on the steps that you have to follow so you don't have any mistakes. So 800 plus 1500, and then divide 2 equals 1150. And this is the last midpoint that we needed to find. Now, after finding the midpoints, the second step is what? Very good. You have to multiply each midpoint by the frequency in front of it. So multiply 375 by 7, and then 625 by 9, and then 1150 by 4. So find the midpoints first. Let's call this midpoint. So we found the midpoints. Now we multiply each midpoint by the frequency in front of it, like this. Let's write it here. So 375 times 7, you can calculate this with a calculator. It's going to be 2625. That's the first number. Okay. Now, 625 times 9. 625 times 9, it's 5625. Make sure that you calculate it correctly with a calculator. And then the last one, 1150 times 4, equals 4600. 4600, okay? So, as we said, second step is multiplying each midpoint by the frequency in front of it. Now, the next step will be what? We'll be adding the answers that we have. Let's add all the answers that we have. 2625 plus 5625 plus 4600. Let's make them bigger so we can see the step. So, as we said, the next step is about adding these numbers together. Okay. And the answer will be 12,850. As we said, we're using calculators to check our answers all the time. And then take the 12,850 and divide it by the total number of frequencies, which is 20. So 12,850 divide 20. Divide 20. Let me make a line of division like this. And this is the final step that will give you the mean for this data. And the answer is 642.5. 642.5. And this is the mean for these data. So focus on the steps. First thing we did, we found the midpoints by adding and dividing by 2. And then we multiplied each midpoint by the frequency in front of it. And then we added these numbers. And then we divided by the total frequencies to get the mean of this data. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.